let's do a test and try to figure out what's better, architect or talent developer in college football 25. So the way we're going to do this, I have two different save files. I have 5 prospects we're going to focus on. In one save file, we're going to upgrade talent developer. We're going to sim their whole career and we're going to see how they progress and what overall they reach. In the other save file, we're going to upgrade the architect. We're going to sim their whole career, see how they progress, and we're also going to compare their skill caps and see how many upgrades throughout that whole period. And as we all know, the tier 2 ability, the chance to increase the random skill cap when leveling up for the architect, is going to be the most valuable thing here. So I really want to see throughout their whole career, how many skill caps do they really unlock? Is it 1? Is it 5? That could be a huge difference. And then for that talent developer, that tier 3 and tier 4 ability where lower rated quarterbacks and then also starting quarterbacks will gain XP faster. Those are the 2 abilities I really want to test. The tier 1 and tier 2 is cool, but I'm not as concerned about that. If y'all do enjoy the content, make sure to like, comment, subscribe. Let me know down below what 2 things y'all want to see me test next. I'm thinking about maybe doing the motivator. Y'all just let me know. So before we get into the experiment, it's also worth mentioning for both of these runs, we will have the motivator maxed out for both our offense and defensive coordinator, so they will get an extra offseason training boost. For our head coach, we will not. All right, so this is going to be the head coach build. The motivator, we had to upgrade it a little bit just so we could unlock that talent developer. It won't affect anything, but this is how we're starting off. The talent developer, we have, like I said, 5 players. 4 of them are going to be on offense, 1 on defense. I don't think the players really matter. The positions definitely matter when it comes to like their actual development, and you know, some positions don't develop as well as others. So I want to make sure I put in wide receiver and tight end. Those are 2 positions that usually reach their full potential earlier than other positions. For example, I wanted to also include a safety because they rarely ever reach their full potential. Like, this is the position group. Safeties, I feel like you should not really prioritize architect because you don't need to unlock skill caps. They already never reach their full potential. Compared to wide receiver, they always reach their full potential, it seems like. Then we also went with a running back and then a quarterback as well. All right, so let's meet our 5 players. I'm also going to note these players will start their whole career. We won't redshirt them. They're going to start day 1. And we're going to start out with the quarterback. Landman is going to be his name. He's an impact 5-star development. It's going to be either 4-star or 5 stars. And his skill caps are not great, man. He has 13 in total skill caps. His accuracy is capped off pretty early. So this is a guy the architect could benefit a lot, especially if he unlocked more ability to get higher accuracy. But his accuracy is already not in a horrible spot. So we're going to see what happens. We're going to advance, like I said, their whole career. Halfway throughout, we're going to stop and see pretty much what overall they're at, and then we're going to advance to their senior year. Also worth mentioning, he's a 77 overall. We're going off that overall in the top right corner. So next we have our freshman running back. Also worth mentioning, all these guys will be freshmen, and he's going to be a 72 overall, impact development 4-star. He has 13 skill caps as well, and he could get a lot better. He could become a pretty good player. The only issue is he's a power back, and his power is already maxed out as he steps on campus as a freshman. So not great when it comes to that. But this one guy that the archetype might benefit just being able to unlock more skill caps for his power. But also it could help him in other ways because he can't upgrade his power. The power is damn near most expensive. Now he can spend those coins elsewhere. And you see these other attributes are cheaper. So that could also lead to him getting to a higher overall. But this is going to be our 1 running back. Next, let's look at our wide receiver we will be tracking. He is a 75 overall deep threat wide receiver. He is going to be a 4-star and then also has a star development trait. And he only has 5 skill caps. He is actually a very good player. So this is a guy where I would consider architect is not needed for because his skill caps are actually pretty good. So the talent developer should do him a little bit better. Now looking at tight end, I got Jake. He's going to be a 73 overall. And he's a guy that could benefit from the architect. He's an impact 4-star guy. And he has the most skill caps out of any of these players we're going to look at. He has 16 skill caps. And he is a blocking tight end, and he can actually get better at blocking, but the catching, route running, not great. So let's see what the architect does for him. Then the last player we're going to look at is Jalen. He's going to be a 74 overall, and let's come in here and look at him. He's an impact 4-star, and then his skill caps are, and this is what I mean when I say the safeties never really reach their full potential. You see how the other guys overall starts pretty much higher? Like, he has 15 skill caps. A lot of these other guys had 13, 14 skill caps, but it actually seemed like their overall was more maxed out. He could get a lot better because all his attributes start so much further to the left, if that makes sense. So, like I said, this is a guy where I think he will really benefit from the talent developer and actually like trying to get his full overall rather than the architect. Like I said, he's never going to reach his full overall just because it's so expensive for him to level up one. All right, so I put all of guys in starting positions. Even the running back, I put him as the third down power back. Our receiver, he's a slot guy. Everyone is starting as a freshman. So one thing I'm going to do that might seem a little bit cheating, but it'll make sense. So I'm going to actually force our team to go 12-0 every single season. One that's going to give us consistent stats, and that's mainly the main thing I want to care about. I want our team to get consistent stats and put up good numbers so these players are actually developing, just like you will see if you actually play the game. You're probably going to get good stats for your freshmen. And then also I want that 3-game winning streak boost. I want that to be consistent. If we don't force the wins, we have no idea when our teams are getting that 3-game winning streak or when they're not, and that's going to be for that architect ability. So every single year our team will go 12-0 in the regular season. What they do in the postseason won't be up to me. I won't be able to see it. All right, so we have hit everyone junior year. Now let's check on these overalls of our players. So Teddy is going to be up to a 87 overall, which is very good for him, man. I imagine he is maxed out when it comes to his accuracy. He definitely is. And his medium accuracy maxes out as a 79, which is not great. At least the deep throw and the short accuracy is much better, but the medium, I will argue, is probably the most important, and for that to be a 79 is not great. Even though he's all the way up to an 87, that part of his game has not developed that well, and that's because he got the skill cap. So we'll see in the other experiment if it'll develop a little bit differently, but he has got some speed. His throw power is up to a 91. He's a good player, like I said. And then also his abilities are almost maxed out, I would imagine it. Them things are gold, so he is doing very good. Let's look at our running back, see what he's up to. And y'all, he has actually gotten cut. They cut our running back. But he was not progressing. He was literally under an 80 overall last time I looked, which is in the middle of this past season. And it's unfortunate. In this experiment, they actually cut our running back because he wasn't developing at all. I got to do a little bit better of just making sure I'm going through the encourage the transfer. But it never even crossed my mind that one of these players would get cut with the talent developer. And we started him his first 2 seasons, and he still was not developing high enough to be better than an 83 overall. This guy right here is an 83, and they cut the other guy over him. That's horrible. That is actually horrible. Let's look at our receiver, who's actually doing phenomenal. He's up to an 89 overall, and I imagine he might be almost maxed out, not there yet. But like I said, this is a guy where if you get the skill caps, that's very good on a receiver. It's rare, it's tough to get it, but they will actually develop to be a great player. He'll probably max out like a 95 overall if he even get there. He might just try to go to the NFL after the season, but he is doing very well. Tight end Jake is also doing very good, man. He's up to a 91. He started off as a 73 overall with the 16 skill caps and impact development, all of that. He is maxed out, so he has reached his full potential by his junior year. Catching and route running are not good. The blocking and everything else, he's great at. He could be probably a great left tackle. He's so good at blocking. And then let's look at our last guy, who's going to be the free safety, Jalen. And he is not progressing neither. Keep in mind, he is a hybrid safety. I thought at least having the talent developer would help that out. I wanted to go with a hybrid safety because, like I said, plenty of times they develop slower just because it's so expensive for them to upgrade, and it's still just so expensive for each one of these categories to go up. And he is not progressing well at all, even with that talent developer. He has no abilities neither, so he's not spending his points on physical abilities. He is just not progressing at all, man. Jalen is a guy that probably will get cut. I have to actually make sure I do the encourage the transfer phase this next year, because they probably going to cut him because he is not developing. But let's advance another season. We'll make sure these guys are starting, and we'll advance to their senior year, and we check out where if they even get drafted, what happens. Man, it's low-key sad because we're starting Jalen every year, and he is still not good enough to just be in the top 3 safeties. Like, we're forcing him to start, and he is just not developing like these other guys. But when you actually look at his attributes, they're not that bad. When it comes to, like, his zone and his coverages, he's actually not that bad. He'd be better off playing corner. So we have hit everyone's senior year, and we can see their max overall And our wide receiver maxed out at 90 overall. He could have got a little bit better. Our tight end maxed out at 91. He was pretty much maxed out. Our quarterback 88 overall. He was pretty much maxed out when it comes to his quarterback ability. He could have got a little bit better with his speed. I believe his throw power could have improved a little bit more. But 88 overall is a solid spot for the quarterback. All of this is solid. Our running back obviously got cut, which is not good. And we'll go look at our safety as he maxed out as an 81 overall. 4-year starter. He maxes out at an 81 overall, man. That is horrible. Let's look at his skill caps. And we'll see. He could have got a lot better, man. Could have got a lot better. And wow, that's bad. And he obviously had the impact development. Well, guess what? All of our other guys had impact development except for the wide receiver who got to that 90 overall. He had the star development. And it's just like, the hybrid safeties is brutal, man. They are brutal. At times, they will not develop. And we've seen it here. Even with him starting and getting that extra boost for the quarterback, or excuse me, for the talent developer, still did not matter, man. All right, so we back in here to another save file with the same exact players, and the coach build is different. This time, we went with the quarterback for the architect, or excuse me, we went with the architect for the quarterback, running back, wide receiver, tight end, and then also the defensive back. And if we come over here to our roster, you'll see we got them young rookies. We already know their potential with the talent developer. Well, guess what? I see their potential now with the architect. We're going to do the same exact thing. We're going to start them every single year. We're also going to win every single regular season game. We haven't even won a championship in that other version. We never got past like the semis. We're going to win every single regular season game just so we're being consistent. And let's go ahead and advance. We're going to advance to that same junior year and see where that overall is at. So everyone has hit their junior year. We made sure our running back didn't get released this time by our quarterback. This is the point where we're able to see their overall, but also if their skill caps have moved. For our quarterback, he's up to an 84. So I believe last time he was up to an 86 at this point. He's up to an 84 now. Look at his skill caps. His skill caps actually have not moved. He still is at 13 skill caps compared to where he started off, which was 13. And our running back is actually progressing this time. He's up to an 84. He started off as a 72. So he is actually doing very well compared to last time where he actually got cut. And we look here at his actual attributes, and he actually improved some skill caps, man. He went from 13 to 12, which is a good thing. He unlocked one additional skill cap. We'll certainly take that. So our star receiver is up to an 88 true overall as his junior year. He has not unlocked any skill caps yet, but he is still developing very good. He still got that same 5 skill caps. But last time he didn't reach his full overall anyway, so we'll see what happens this time. And then our tight end, last time he maxed out as a 91 overall. Here he's already a 91 overall as his junior year, and his skill caps has actually improved. He went from 16 to 14 skill caps, and now he could get a little bit better route running, which is a benefit. So he should be able to get to a higher overall. We'll see if once he get that last skill cap, what his overall jumps up to, whether it's a 92, 93, we'll see. And then our safety has done the most. So he's up to 79, still not progressing all that well. But skill cap wise, he has actually unlocked 3 skill caps. He went from 15 to 12. But like I mentioned earlier, for safety is not as big of a deal because he's not going to reach his full potential. So just because hybrid safeties and safeties in general, they rarely ever reach their full potential. But he's developing the same. He did unlock 3 skill caps through his first 2 years. So we'll see how his career ends up. So unfortunately this time around, Jake, our tight end, has gone on to the NFL. We tried to convince him. He told me no. He's going on to the NFL after his true junior year, which is actually a good thing. But our wide receiver, we was able to convince him to come back. He's up to a 90 overall. Let's go ahead and advance to that senior year. But unfortunately, our tight end has been gone. So we hit the draft, and this time our wide receiver did end up getting drafted. He made it to a 91 overall, but our quarterback did not get drafted this time. Let's go look at their stat caps. So this time, Teddy maxed out as an 86 overall. In the last run, he maxed out at 88, and he ended up getting drafted. And when it comes to his stat caps, he only unlocked 1 stat cap, but it was in the accuracy category, which is actually useful, and his medium accuracy got a little bit higher. But overall wise, he did not reach as high of overall. His throw power went crazy as well, went all the way up to a 97, so that's a good thing at least. Now running back, he made it up to an 86. Last time, he did not finish. He literally did not make it because he got cut. He was not developing, and he only improved 1 stat cap, so he went from 13 to 12 stat caps. Then our wide receiver made it 1 higher overall. Last time he was a 90. This time he made it to a 91. And then you look at his stat caps. He actually unlocked 2 stat caps. He started off with 5. He's only down to 3. But it's not a huge deal because he didn't even reach his full potential. So it's not a huge deal for him. Then our tight end obviously went on to the NFL, but he did unlock, I believe it's 2 stat caps before he left after his junior year. And then our free safety made it up to an 82 overall. Last time he made it up to an 81. So not major difference, a little bit of an improvement, but the stat caps, he went from 15 stat caps to 12, which is fairly good. But like I said, not a big deal when these guys are not reaching their full potential at safety and some of these other positions. So not really a big deal for the safeties. So this leads to the question, which is better? Is it architect or talent developer? I'm going to say it depends on the position. For like receiver and tight end, I believe architect is better because you have the chance to unlock skill caps compared to they're going to reach their full overall a lot of times. You know, our receiver today, he didn't reach his full overall because he had great skill caps. Most receivers will not have that. For a position like quarterback, I believe talent developer might be a little bit better because they'll be able to reach their full overall. But if you do get a quarterback with some bad stat caps, like our guy in the video today, where his accuracy was capped off pretty low, it was actually useful where he was able to reach a higher throw accuracy with the quarterback. So it's really position by position, man. I know that's not the answer y'all want. I'm not going to decide which one I think is better. I just think it depends on the position and what your preference is for that position. Like DB, I think architect is damn near useless for the safeties. For the cornerbacks, could be useful. But for the safeties, I think it's damn near useless. I would much rather have the talent developer. So it just depends on the position, y'all. If y'all enjoyed the video, make sure to like, comment, subscribe. Y'all let me know down below what y'all think is better. Appreciate y'all for watching. We on to the next one.